Okay, hey there guys, so we're right back at it with the second war of the season now. This one is against New Nation, who, I mean, except for like one season a while ago, they're always going to be a top competitor, so this is not a very, like, war where you can just, mess around too easily. They're always going to put up a very good score. They're a very good alliance. Like, no one really questions that about Noon at this point. And I knew I took this Doom a couple more times after that first war, so right back at this Doom fight, White Magneto on, and with my own Dr. Doom of himself. I kind of explained why I liked the matchup. You don't really apply any debuffs to him outside of your SP2 if you use the White Magneto, so Conflictor is a non-factor. If you use the Power Start 1, as I do, you kind of just push him up to 1 bar of power, and you try to keep yourself just below 2 bars of power when you throw your SP1, and it pushes him right there, and now I'm able to start using my lights to steal his power back. So just basically, it just gives you a free special, and then you get yourself back the same bar that you already kind of had, because Dr. Doom's a little bit silly like that. So that's kind of how I've been liking taking this fight. It allows me to push him to SP2 much easier and not have to worry as much about pushing to SP1. And then, yeah, just pretty much the same as the war against DSVG. I'm just going to go for my 2 SP3s. Yeah, I'm just going to go for them. And after the second SP3, the fight's pretty much over every time. Because, well, I'm a rank 4 Doom. I'm boosted. I literally have almost 30,000 PI. It's a bit crazy. For some reason, I still don't get the full Doom rotation at rank 4, where if you reparry, you go straight back to your SP3. I don't know if it's something I'm messing up. I think it might be, but I'm also just kind of trying to play this as safe and slow as I can. I don't really care about it too much, and that's been a bug that Dr. Doom's been having for the past season and a half. If you notice, I started with a light instead of a medium, but when in reality I'm swiping on my screen. I've talked to some people. It's not like a my phone issue or a my screen issue. It is something that's been happening. Me and my officer are splitting our paths this war. When I saw the assignment, I was like, ah, bruh, come on. But, I mean, he has the same fight assignments as well, right? It's like, we're both taking the same number of fights, so he has this Hulkling here with Clairvoyant. He's actually going to absolutely dominate that fight. I don't have the video of it, but he absolutely pounds that Hulkling. It sounds a little bit weird. Yeah, the Hulkling just gets destroyed. Claire did so well for that fight. It's actually really, really crazy. Because he has so many buffs, you just get your SP2s like back to back. I have this Terrax here. If I'm being honest, Claire is also really good for Terrax overall because you can willpower from the armor breaks. But Doom, Terrax kind of needs the armor breaks to do damage if you get hit, and I don't get armor braked. And then I have all the crit resistance, so it's a really sturdy champion. And I'm just backdraft intercepting because that's kind of what you do in this fight. I want to wait until I want to get a parry a little bit earlier there if I could, and I want to go for a backdraft there. If you notice, my light is actually up, and he hits me through my light. I don't know if I was late or something, but I've been noticing that happens a fair bit to me. But right here, he's going to have a lot of extra attack, but fortunately the Incinerates run off right as his Rock Field comes in, and right there I knew he was going to get the protection, so my stun was going to fall off. I tried to intercept with my SP2. I should have just gone for a backdraft intercept one more time, and then throwing the SP2, it would have killed. And then he was being a little bit passive, because with Terrax, you really want to try to go for your intercept while he's in his rock field, because he's super aggressive. But that fight was pretty simple. So, and then my officer is going to take the Sassy, and in our WhatsApp chat, he was like, oh yeah, who's going to take the Cersei, me or you? Or both just like, I mean, we're both comfortable taking it. So it doesn't really matter to either of us. So we're talking about it in-game because we still haven't decided. I needed to give him the white mags because obviously this node has Mighty Charge. So the white Magneto makes it a lot easier because he's going to be using the She-Hulk, I believe. So you want to be able to parry just in case. So we're just talking about who's going to take the Cersei. It's nothing really like too serious. We're just like, okay, who's going to do this? Usually this is decided a bit earlier, but for some reason he kind of like at the not like the last second, but a bit later he was like, oh yeah, it's kind of between me and you, just who wants it. And I had to take the Toad, so I was like, well, I mean, if I'm taking the Toad, I guess I'll just take it, so I can just like power boost straight through 2 fights. I can save him a boost. After I do the fight, he's like, bro, why didn't you tell me? I would have saved you the potions on Doom, because my Doom has a bit of health. I was talking about it with some other people. Yeah, just going over the fight really quick, like in my head, like, yeah, Doom will be fine for this. I'm going to cut here after the Cersei. Yeah, so we're finalizing the plans as we're using our energy. Not our typical. So he tells me to go in. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then, as I said, I have that Toad with my Nimrod. I believe I put the White Magneto on that fight to give myself extra attack. And I'm using a small potion here to top up, which is definitely a smart idea against New Nation on a mini-boss island. There's no reason to play it risky at all. So, I actually have my power boosts on. That was, I think, for the Terrax fight, as what I wanted them for. I guess I kind of forgot I had the power boosts on, actually. That's kind of crazy. So, I go into this Cersei fight. I'm pretty comfortable fighting Cersei. I've found a pretty good strategy that I like for her. It's, whenever she's going to get the glance, I just do a single heavy. And it always will trigger it, and it will always nullify it. Actually, it's kind of weird that it can trigger with Safeguard, because I can only do 2,400 crits. I don't know. But this fight, I really just want to... I'm mainly going to be using my heavy and my SP2. Right here, you can see on the video there, my screen, like... Or not my screen, my game just, like, hard lags in the middle of her SP1. I'm like, oh, shoot, I get stunned. So now I'm at 77. And then again, the game or me misses a parry. I'm like, oh, okay. Not having a repeat of Surfer, right? Right? And right there, okay. She just threw her SP1. Pretty comfortable. I can use my SP3. I'll just want to get off an SP2 while I have my Fury, because of course this is only going to do 1% because of Safeguard. So it's a very small SP3, unlike normal for Doom. So I just get off my stagger there, I nullify it, and I'm just going up, trying to get there. I have my stagger on, so I can actually just throw it special, which it triggered it, but then I think it's because she hit me, she got the transmutation, which then let her get her glance. I throw this SP1, and I have MD going, so I'm going to get a lot from that. And again, I miss another parry. I'm not sure at this point if it's me or the game. So right here is a big mistake I'm going to make. She resists my heavy, and in panic, I just throw the SP2, the SP3. If you notice, though, her glancing charge is under halfway back on the timer. And with a Fury, anything I do will pretty much trigger it. So I come out, she's at SP3. I need to get up to my SP1 as quick as I can. For some reason, I decide to heavy to try to remove her glancing buff so my SP1 would work, because the SP3, the glancing, would stop my power steal. And now she's at SP3. And I freak out. Oh. Again? After Surfer? For some reason, I'm typing in his nickname, not his actual name. I push Cersei to SP3 with Dr. Doom, and I used the Power Start 1, plus I got hit all those other times, so even with an Involt, this wouldn't have, like, stopped this here. I'm just like, oh, 2 deaths in back-to-back wars, and this is against Noon. This is not going to be, like, a easy win. I'm like, and, okay, I lived. That's cool. Also, while she has regen, she's unblockable. So, I have these incinerates on me. I got some of my regen back from Adrenaline. I'm like, okay, I'm at 23% actually. Huh. That's kind of nice, because I don't have Assassin's Range on me then. I'm like playing this as safe as I can right now. I'm like, okay, we are not taking risks. I'm throwing my SP1s. By the way, we are now 3 minutes into this fight. What probably should have been a 1.5-minute fight at most. I throw my SP2, and I come out alive. And I come out alive. I full-on went to WhatsApp, asking, just like, just stop giving me fights at this point. Like, what am I doing? I was, like, mad. I was mad after Surfer. I was just confused and stressed after Cersei. I think it was like, I was about to have dinner with some people, and I was like, oh wait, I've got to go do something really quick. I'm thinking, yeah, you know, I've got like 3 fights, and now all of a sudden, I take a 4-minute Cersei fight. I go on WhatsApp for a minute trying to like steady myself because I am just freaking out. I am freaking out. And my officer doesn't understand what I'm saying. He's like, "Oh, you just nullify his prowess." I'm like, "No, I'm talking about Cersei." And he was like, he thought I was talking about the frog, and that I was worried I was gonna eat an SP3 from frog. And I'm, the heck, bro. I don't know how this happened to me back-to-back wars, but now I still have another fight left, which is Toad. And I'm going to play this as safe as I could. So I have to put on Suicide. So I'm going to take off Mystic Dispersion and Limber because, well, if I get parried in this fight, Max Limber doesn't really reduce it by that much. I'm going to take a combo or 2 either way. So I don't think I put on Max... Oh! I do put on... Oh, I Max Limber instead of maxing out parry. That's what I did. And then I put on like Max Courage and stuff because I knew I was going to have to take off my Masters anyway. And I wanted to do a quick little duel of Toad beforehand. It didn't honestly matter like who I used for it. I just wanted to remember his heavy animation. And when I go for the duel, look what happens. Imagine if I had just gone straight into the fight and I have like a DC. Fortunately, I didn't DC. But I was just trying to remember his like heavy and his SP1. Trying to figure out like what timings I can go in after both. I'm like, okay, that's good, that's good. By the way, if you notice, I still haven't done Abyss. Still in the middle of Abyss. So I throw on my advanced power boost because you really need that for this, or not you need it for this fight, but because of polka dot power, you're really not going to gain that much power. You're going to be keeping the debuffs on him a ton. And I also put on power back boost just in case, so like I can get up to my SP1 or an SP2 to finish him off. As I said, I put on a guidance so that way I have extra damage. That extra 15% attack, it's not massive, but it helps. Honestly, if I was the one, I would have used that white mag probably somewhere else if I had the choice. But I'm more than happy to use it here to make this fight a little bit quicker, which definitely was a good call. Actually, I know this person, the guy who has this Toad. He's a cool guy. I guess I have to tag him when I release this video. So yeah, this Toad is about to be another kind of chaotic fight. So I need to get to my orange phase as quick as I can because I need to start removing his regens and his prowess. And that one, I just wanted to make sure I played it safe on his first SP1. And I'm removing all of his stuff, so I'm gaining my shocks, so I'm gaining my power, so I'm already at a bar. I've only gained half a bar of power 20 hits in, by the way. If I really want to keep him like against his wall, I believe, in this fight, because when you push Toad against the wall is when he gains more regens, and right there, I go in early and I get clipped by his SP, by his heavy, and I'm like, okay. It crit, we're taking a bit of damage, it's fine. And I threw a light, or I like hesitated or something, I'm trying to remember exactly which happened, if I meant to throw the light or not, and now I'm against my wall. This is not where I wanted to be. And then I had to like throw a weird combo there. I get the intercept off fortunately, which is really good. And here I'm like, okay, I'm at SP2, launch. And it's doing 4.3 a tick because of suicides and all the boosts, obviously. And again, his AI is just about to go so stupid. I'm over halfway through the screen. He's throwing heavies, he's dashing. He's not really going like back. He's taking one dash back, which isn't really like losing ground for him. And finally, once against the wall, he throws it. And right here, I want to bait out this heavy as quick as I can, so I can throw this combo. And I should have actually finished... Oh, wait, that's why I didn't finish my combo. I can dex his SP2, and I also have 2 cowardice, so I'd survive if I ate it. But I don't want to eat that. I think right here, I'm going to like start to push him over his SP2, because I'll kill him in the next combo if I use like SP1 and stuff. I intercept, and I just like go in and start hitting his block. And again, it's a 2 and a bit minute. It's a 2-minute fight. It's a 2-minute fight. It shouldn't be that long. His AI was being a pain, and I just used my energy up to Chavez. Chavez isn't mine. If I had like other stuff going, sure, maybe I'd like steal, but nah, that's not when you steal. You don't steal against New Nation. 9-3. So again, they played. This actually isn't their best war. I think they had a rough start to the season, which happens to them sometimes, but they've picked it up, I believe. from what I remember. But again, New Nation's always a very tough war. It's always a great war against them. So it's not a war you can afford to die to Cersei with Doctor Doom. Fortunately, I didn't. Yeah, great. It was a great war against New Nation. I hope they had a good time. I know I did. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll be seeing you guys around soon. Bye.